am a customer that is making an honest review of the service I received at Preserve Pets. This is the paperwork, and this is the receipt. I'm showing you this so I can actually prove that this is a legitimate review. I did pay for this service. So this is a little disclaimer I'd like to put in. In the course of running any business, a business is going to have satisfied customers and they're going to have unsatisfied customers. And depending on how you handle that, it's very important to take that into consideration in regards to people writing reviews about the service they received. All results are individual. These are my pet's results, and I only represent my pet's outcome. I walked in and I got a service, and I'll be the first one to say it. I thought it was horrendous. What the product I got back. But that doesn't mean somebody else isn't going to come back and get a great product. But I'm only talking about my pet's results, and they were very substandard as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so this is the actual pose picture. This is what I gave to Preserve Pets as to how to preserve my pet when it's done properly. You can come out with a great specimen. This is what you can expect. This is one of the last pictures taken of him. This was after he died. This proves his, condition of his hair. It's his face. I mean, this is what the animal looked like. And, if it was done properly, it could have come out looking like this. This is how the animal was returned to me. This isn't even a packaging error. I drove 2 hours to pick up this pet. I live in California, and when I did, this is what was waiting for me. The thing with pet preservation is if it's not done properly, it's a one-shot deal. You don't get to do it over. So it's real important to do your research and make sure it gets done properly. This is just a bad placement of a glass eye. Well, let's back up. The first thing, obviously it's real apparent is that the fur doesn't look the way the pet did in real life. It's like it was put through the freeze drying process looking, he looks like a wet rodent. It looks like he permanently took a bath. And it's horrible. Bad placement of a glass eye. Just no airbrushing. It's customary to have, airbrushing and, pink ears, this kind of stuff. The face, I noticed, was actually caved in. It's not just that the pose wasn't followed, and the face was tilted to the side, the ears aren't forward. It's that there's actually, I think it looks like when he actually posed the animal, maybe there was like some kind of ring or collar around the animal, and it's like maybe there's a clamp on the face, but the face is actually caved in. Ears aren't forward. I immediately saw that his chest was completely wrong. Hair was actually falling out of it. I said, "What happened to his chest?" He said, "Oh, I had to do some repair work on the chest. Your rabbit had a golf ball sized tumor in the chest. Had to cut it out." I said, "Well, the rabbit didn't die of a tumor. I mean, how come you didn't call me?" Obviously something had to have gone wrong with this pet to wait 8 or 9 months to come back and get this pet looking like this. And he didn't have a response to that. He didn't give me a call. And I don't understand why. The hair, whenever he glued it back in, because I guess I'm assuming it fell out, because it's still falling out, he didn't even glue it in the right hair pattern. So the white should be up here, tan should be down there. Just, it's horrible. Additionally, this is actually like there's a hole in here. There's like a place. It's like this is some kind of, I don't know. It looks, I don't know what it is. This isn't his chest though, but his chest should stop right there. So the other thing is that the feet weren't lined up. You can't put a rabbit without their feet lined up without, making their body look abnormal. You got to line the front feet up. You got to line the back feet up. This is just grossly asymmetrical. Looks horrible. Because he didn't do that, you know. You got one hip here, one hip here. You draw a straight line from there to there. It's diagonal. One hip here. It's just not, what a joke. The animal looks, it's just like one big, scoliosis curve or something. And that's a good picture right there, close up. I mean, look at that, one hip there, one hip there. It's almost like this hip got pulled out of the socket to me. Just, it's horrible. Now, in fairness to the owner, when I arrived and, I saw, showed my shock, then and only then did he actually, start trying to improve the appearance of the pet. And this is him, getting a hairdryer out, trying to fluff the hair up. So, this is what it looked like. I remember this conversation. I said, how come it doesn't look like this? I thought this is what it looked like in real life. I thought this is how he's going to come out. I pretty much had no comment to that. Just said, oh, well, I'm going to fluff his hair out. Okay. I mean, probably should have happened before I got there. But the thing is, if you don't do this properly in terms of just putting the animal in with dry hair, like he was dropped off in real life looking a certain way, and that's how he should have been frozen and put into the freeze dryer. You can't fix that on the back end. This is permanent. You don't just get to fix it. And, so it was a joke. Let's take a look at a rabbit from another studio. There they are. The feet are lined up. Hair looks perfect, right? I mean, this was an animal that was put in with dry hair. Nobody takes their rabbit, to a beauty salon or every day gets up and blows their rabbit's hair dry to make it look like it did in real life. So this business, telling me, oh yeah, just fluff his hair out. I mean, it didn't, what a joke, right? This is, if it's done properly, you're going to get this back, and you don't lay a hand on it after that. This is where he was trying to heat it up and move the ears forward, but at this point it's too late. He also put a horse mane, like horse product on there to try to lay the hair down, but it's not permanent. Nothing about my experience here was professional. I mean, anybody who would give you a pet looking like that and then think they did a good job is living in a fantasy world. And I was told I was the pickiest customer in 20 years. I never asked for a refund. I let him work on the pet for about 2 hours. We got nowhere with it. And then when I came home, I tried to get all his processing notes because I was naive. I thought I could get him done someplace else. And so I came home, took before and after pictures of my pet. This is, my pet when he died. This is what he looked like. And I started sending these pictures all around to all the other facilities in the country and asking, can this pet be redone? What happened to this pet? And everybody was like, I have no idea what happened to this pet. And they, I said, is this normal? And they said, no, absolutely not. That I should not have expected my pet to come out looking this way. And I kept asking for the processing notes, and I was getting nowhere. Like, the guy didn't want to give me any notes. Didn't want to tell me what happened with this pet. It was very suspicious to me. Eventually, he gave me some information because, I was talking to some people and they were like, well, look, you got to tell us everything that happened on this pet, because you're asking us a bunch of questions, but it's all hypothetical if you can't, tell us what happened. And so I was getting nowhere. And then... a few days later, the animal said, okay, well, you know what, bring him back in and, I'll repose him. I'll put him in a new pose, and that's how we'll fix it. I said, I'm not going to bring him back in. Look how you gave him to me. You putting him in a new pose isn't going to fix the bad workmanship. If it had been done properly the first time, he wouldn't have had to be redone. I mean, and, so... needless to say, there's no way I was going to bring this pet back in when he was given to me like this. Give me a break. So at that point, the owner pretty much told me that, I was refusing their help and, and just kind of blew me off. And then I just checked my notes. 8 days after I got him home, that's when I found a bug deep in his chest dermis, crawling around. And then I was really worried. Turned my video on, pulled the bug out. It looked like a fur beetle, furniture beetle. So, from Google search, and it looked like like a bug, the type of bug you get in an animal skin, the type of bugs that attack animal skins. And then it just was like really scary. Luckily, I had been talking to other studios, and so I contacted them, and they said, "Don't worry about it. Put him in the freezer, put him in a bag, put him in a freezer, and it'll kill any infestation if there is some." So I did, and when I pulled him out of the freezer, put him back in his box, that's what leaked off his body. I'm assuming this is I don't know what it is. It could be, I don't know. It's oil, obviously. I think it's the horse mane shine product that the owner put in before I left his facility to lay the hair down, because the hair was so wild, yeah, that was sticking up all over the place. So at that point, after talking to the other facilities, I was told I couldn't get a refund, and between that and the bug, I had it. And oh no, I had learned that I can't get it redone. I'm getting ahead of myself. They said, no, it's a one-time shot. Sorry, we're not going to be able to really improve the appearance of your rabbit. It'll probably fall apart if we do it again. Between that and finding the bug, I was done. So at that point, I demanded a refund, and then this is what the owner sent me back. All fees are non-refundable. All work performed is done at the pet owner's risk. He let me know pretty much that I signed this. So he was going to give me a refund, and I circled this and highlighted this. We will take great pride and care with working with your pet. We do everything we can to duplicate your pet's likeness only. Yeah. You can't just have somebody sign a contract and then you do bad workmanship. You give them back what you gave me and then say, oh, well, I'm going to keep your $7.95. You're living in a fantasy world. That just is not the way life works. The other problem I really had with this is that it just seemed like, and then initially it was about almost 3 months before I ever even posted a picture of my pet. I just wrote a review. I gave him 1 star, I admit it. And every time I would put a picture up, this is a few months down the road, but after I wrote my review, I started, getting these reviews that seemed to specifically be talking to me, referring to me as the rabbit lady or this kind of crap. Now, by the way, I never posted my gender when I wrote my reviews. I write any site that's there. I'm writing a rabbit review, But I never posted my gender, and then all of a sudden, this kind of crap starts showing up. Hey, rabbit lady, hope you read this. It's very clear by the picture that Preserve Pets did a fabulous job on your obviously not so fabulous dead rabbit. He used to be fabulous in real life. Look at this kind of crap. It's pathetic, sad, pathetic, and very desperate. This rabbit person to continually harass this business owner all over review sites. Her latest harassment was just posted on Yelp, and it's very clear by the picture that Preserve Pets did a fabulous job on your obviously not so fabulous dead rabbit. I'm reading this one first because it's important. We're going to come back to the picture that they're referring to. But look at this crap. It's just, what a joke. I was referred to as a crybaby. This one is supposed to be specifically some guy that does taxidermy. What professional would call a bereaved pet owner a crybaby from another studio? I doubt it. And then posting, stop destroying his credibility and score just because others out there love him. What a joke. If one customer can, destroy your credibility, give me a break. My 1-star review is so far buried in the reviews. In Yelp, they didn't even recommend my review. People are living in a fantasy world. Wow, talk about a crazy rabbit person. You really need to take your rabbit and your refund and hop off. Some of this is just comedic. Sadly, you'll never satisfy everyone. Crazy is crazy, and you can't fix that. This is a kind of disrespect, And this leads to my next point. Wait, let's look at one more. Rabbit lady, I seen your same post. Again, referring to me as rabbit lady. I never posted my gender, No, come on. I seen your same post twice, and it seems to me that all you're doing is trying to ruin Preserve Pet's reputation. Shame on you. How did you know I was a woman, Joanne from Minnesota? This is the picture they're talking about. So after this guy puts this rabbit, uh, uh, he puts like a horse mane tamer spray product on there and combs it back. It's like a no frizz. It's comparable to a no frizz product. And then I guess takes this picture while I'm in the bathroom, ready to, without my permission. And, later on he posts it to Yelp with this commentary. This is how the rabbit left. The client purposely staged the other photos to make a false claim against Preserve Pets. And I was like, wow. So at that point, I made a video. I can't have anybody, misleading the public about what happened to my pet. These are the photos I posted. And this is actually how my pet was returned to me. So, don't call me a liar. This is truth. Now let's take a look at, I'm going to show you some pictures because this is us at the studio. This is what I assert happened to my pet. And this is me taking a picture at the studio, right? This is it. Let's get serious. This is the pet at on the work table. I can't fake reality. This is the work table. This is the picture of my pet. This is the work table. So, to wrap this review up, I give 1-star review based on, the service I received. I'm sorry it had to get to this point. I should not have been refused a refund initially. I shouldn't have had to waste my time writing back and forth and pretty much, get ready to go to trial just to get a refund. Should have been, self-evident that I was entitled to a refund. And I wasn't, not according to this business. Now, I didn't see all these pictures before, but Preserve Pets has since put up a lot of pictures. And, and in fairness to Preserve Pets, I think that these pictures of these dogs that are put up are very, very good. And this is what I would call industry standard work, I think this is, what anybody would want. But the thing is this was not performed on my pet. Look at this. This is really good. This just got put up there. And I'm only talking about my rabbit. For me, I absolutely chose the wrong studio. Okay, this is the table I was on. So I'm just pointing this out because I was accused of, staging my photos. So really good work on these dogs. So what it comes back to is this, business can do good work, they can do bad work. I walked in and got a horrible, horrendous job as far as I'm concerned. But other people, got a good job. And the only thing you can do is you can do your research for any facility. It doesn't matter where you go, and make sure that you're getting the right facility for what you need and the right professionalism that, and this was not the right facility for me. Because I thought I was going to come out with something like this, right? There was no reason for me not to expect. This is industry standard. And instead I came out with this. And, I don't think I was treated nicely at all. I think, there was no remorse. And now they've hired a lawyer to come after me, telling me I'm disparaging the business. What a joke. It's I'm just really disappointed with how this was all, dealt with. I mean, I don't get it. I first of all don't understand how this pet came out ruined like, the way it did. But it could have been handled so much better. So this is my recommendation for any type of pet preservation service. Research your business by address and by the business owner. A lot of businesses, particularly in taxidermy, they change their name a few times. They go and maybe do different specialties. So you make sure you research the business owner name, you research the address. You're going to find out everything about that business that way. You're going to find out old reviews, everything you want to know. Specifically, make sure they've done great work on the type of animal that you want to get preserved and have many examples of their finished product to prove their competency level. I didn't see, rabbits and stuff posted. And if I had, I didn't do my research enough. This was not the facility to do that type of specialty rabbit. My rabbit was so gorgeous and beautiful that he needed somebody that was really, really could give me back what I wanted, and it was reasonable for me to think, that I could have gotten back something much better than what I received. Absolutely take videos and pictures of your pet before you send the pet in for preservation. You might need it. You might literally have to, you know, prove in court that you weren't lying about your pet. I think the studio should send you a picture of your pet's pose before it goes into the freeze dryer to absolutely ensure that you're going to get what you asked for. So if that had happened in this case, I would have known immediately that this was not the facility for me, and I would have, either corrected the pose, and if they wouldn't have corrected the pose, I would have picked up the pet. That would have been the end of it. A no refund clause in a contract does not preclude a business from providing industry standard workmanship. So you get a refund if your workmanship is bad. That's just not the way life works. So let's end right here. Again, do your research. I hope you get more wherever you choose, that you get better results than I did. And again, just because I got the results that I did doesn't mean Preserve Pets isn't going to do a great job for you. But I absolutely, cannot recommend certainly anybody doing a rabbit there based on what I received. And there's so many things I could say about this situation, but now, that they've hired a lawyer, I'm going to keep it just on the, I'm just going to leave it at that. Let you make your, make your own assumption as to whether or not I stage my videos, stage my photo. And I'll leave it at that. I hope that you get a good preservation service done on your pet. When it's done right, it will come out. It will come out properly, and I'll leave it at that.